Morning, everybody. This is Peter Schiff. It is Saturday, July 17th, 2010. I want to do a quick update on the results from yesterday's phone banking. We made a total of 6,700 calls, and we had 104 people who participated. The winner is Sarah Moreno from New Canaan, Connecticut, who made 323 calls. Way to go, Sarah. Really appreciate your efforts. And you will be receiving an autographed copy of How an Economy Grows and Why It Crashes. Now, the good news is that this was the highest average number of calls per person since we began phone banking just under a week ago. We had an average of 65 calls per person. So that's moving in the right direction. Unfortunately, we only had 104 participants. Hopefully, we can really improve on that over this weekend. 2 days ago, I mentioned on this blog about the incredible efforts of a 13-year-old girl named Sarah Clackile in Harwington, Connecticut, who spent an entire day of her summer vacation making phone calls for my campaign while her father was at work. Now, apparently, her father had been talking about the Schiff campaign and making phone calls, and so she decided to do her part. And my challenge is, if a 13-year-old girl can make 870 calls, what's your excuse? Why do we only have 104 people making calls yesterday? Just yesterday's video between my two YouTube channels, the Schiff for Senate and Schiff Report, over 5,000 people actually watched the video blogs. But only 104 of you took any time out of your day to make a call. Just imagine what would happen if everybody, even for one day, put in the effort of Sarah Clackile and made 870 calls. Now, somebody pointed out that when I mentioned this, I got my math wrong. But imagine if 1,000 people, 20% of the people who are watching this, imagine if we got, forget about 100% participation, but even 20%, 1,000 people. If they made 870 calls Saturday and 870 calls Sunday, that's 870,000 calls on Saturday, 870,000 calls on Sunday. What, 1.6, 1.7 million calls? We would speak to every Republican voter in the state. We can win this thing. There are enough of us if we just care enough to do something. We can't just assume that somebody else is going to do it. We have to do it. Forget about whether or not somebody else participates. You participate. Just make sure you do your part. And the challenge I made is if Sarah can make 870 calls, anyone that can beat her, anyone who can beat a 13-year-old girl, I'm going to give a copy of the book, an autographed copy of How an Economy Grows and Why It Crashes. And you know what? I'm going to give you the entire weekend. She did it in one day. You guys have all of Saturday and all of Sunday to see if you're as good as a 13-year-old girl, if you can make as many calls as she can. And I understand that some people have organized a phone bomb. I think the website is shift-bomb.com for Sunday. Let's hope this thing explodes. We need the call bomb. But you know what? Don't forget about Saturday. We need to put in this time. The primary, there's only, I think, 3 weekends or maybe 4 left until the primary, maybe 3. So every day counts. Every call counts. I can win this race. In the last poll, one big piece of good news is that among Republican voters, my name recognition is in fact rising. And so are my favorables. I think my unfavorables fell to 2%, and my favorables were 30+%. So my message is resonating. The only reason why the Republicans who know about me and who think favorably of me, much more so than my opponents, the reason that they're not saying they're going to vote for me is they don't think I can win. Right? So they're voting for Linda. They're saying they're going to vote for Linda because they think her money means that she can win, even though the polls show conclusively that she can't win. I can. If we make enough calls to enough people, that we convince people that they can vote for me, that we do have a real campaign, we can make a difference. The numbers show that the electorate is moving in my direction. We just need to push them. And there are enough of us here. We can do it. Right? So let's see what happens this weekend. I want to get 1,000 people making calls this Saturday, today, and 1,000 people making calls on Sunday. So I don't care, if you have any plans, come on, cancel them. Spend the day, spend the weekend making these phone calls for this campaign. I'm out campaigning this weekend. As soon as I finish this blog, I'm off to Ridgefield for an event. I have another event later this afternoon, right? I can't make all these calls. I'm doing what a candidate needs to do. I'm out there. I'm meeting the voters. I'm shaking hands. I'm doing what I can to get my message out there. And the bus tour is going to be starting. I'm going to be 2 weeks living out of this RV, traveling around the state. I need the people who are back at home who support me, who helped convince me to run for the United States Senate, to help me win. Right? Running means nothing. I need to win. We can't change anything in Washington unless I go to Washington. And the people watching this, you can help send me there. It's in your power. So pick up the phone, make the calls, shiftforsenate.com, the phone banking, the instructions are there. Anybody can do it. This 13-year-old girl proved that. So if you're afraid of the phone, if you're shy, get over it. She did it. How hard can it be? She did it 870 times. Anyway, that's it. I'll be back again tomorrow and give the results for today's efforts. And don't forget, this is the end of the week. So whoever makes the most phone calls as of the end of today, as a weekly winner, gets an autographed copy of Crash Proof 2.0, How to Profit from the Coming Economic Collapse, as well as a personal phone call from me thanking you for your efforts. Anyway, that's it, and I look forward to reporting positive results tomorrow. Take care, everybody, and happy dialing.